Sveiki Amazon Lietuvos selleriai Amazonėje, Lietuvos pardavėjai Amazonėje ir entuziastai, kurie domisi Amazonu. Šiame video noriu pakalbėti kartu su Chris Rawlings, mano svečiu, apie PPC Amazon reklamas ir jis mums suteiks kelis tipsus, kelias rekomendacijas. Ir šiaip Chrisas yra dažnas mūsų angliško kanalo Orange Click svečias, kur sulaukime nemažai video peržiūrų. Jo turinys, jo dalinamasi informacija yra labai vertinga, bent jau mūsų angliškai auditorijai. Tai kviečiu Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh, it's good. Thank you. So, very shortly in Lithuanian, please introduce what you do.
In Lithuanian?
Yeah, of course.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that should have prepared for this better, huh?
Oh, come on. You have an assistant from Lithuania.
I know, but
you could have read one paragraph.
I guess she's not doing her job teaching me Lithuanian. No, I can't blame it on her, dude. She's tried many a time. But I have to spiff up on it because I do plan on spending more time in Lithuania. It's one of my favorite places in the world. I feel like it's like a secret. Like when I go to Lithuania, I don't know a single other person in America who's been to Lithuania. None of my friends, none of my family, no one I've ever met has ever like traveled there. Everyone goes to Italy or France or Spain. But dude, Lithuania was one of my favorite places in the world. And it's not expensive and the people are hip and everyone's good looking and it's just so much going on there. It seems like a secret that hasn't been discovered yet.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I'm going to have to work on my Lithuanian.
Whenever I hear that someone is going to Europe from North America, I ask, which countries did you visit? And
Germany,
they say Germany,
Spain,
yeah, France,
Italy, France.
But maybe they say Prague or Slovakia. Then I'm happy because it's a bit different.
Sometimes Prague, but you never hear people going to Latvia or
it's too far.
Lithuania or Estonia or anything like Romania, any of like Eastern Europe, South or Northeastern. No one I know ever goes.
All right. So, how do you help Amazon sellers?
Well, I started out as an Amazon seller myself through some luck and through some skill. In retrospect, I can see a lot of it was luck in the very beginning. I had some really quick early success, and I built a multi-7-figure brand on Amazon in the spinal health space. And I had a spinal injury myself, so that like is what sparked me to get into that space. And I just sort of happened to pick a space that was super high volume and was low competition. And this was also years back when the competitive landscape was different on Amazon. But I had a lot of success, way more than I ever thought I would on Amazon. And so I springboarded off of that to help other brands launch on Amazon, started investing in brands and helping brands to get traffic. And I was in all these masterminds, so I was always sharing information. And now I run Sophie Society, which runs PPC for brands. And we collect literally the best PPC, most skilled PPC managers that are out there. And we bring them in and we give brands access to the best of the best, most current, most relevant, most effective PPC management and PPC information by using economics of scale, because we've dealt with thousands of brands. Literally, I've overseen it's been over 2,000 for over a year. So at this point, it's probably over 2,600 product launches on Amazon. So we have a ton of experience, and everyone else on my team is super experienced as well. So we leverage the economics of scale with all the brands that we've worked with to allow even smaller brands to access real greatness at the same, cost that it would normally take them to like access, an unskilled freelancer. So yeah, that's our thing. And our whole philosophy is centered around truth, the scientific method, and experimentation. We actually have a weekly mastermind internally where we meet and we talk about what's working best on all of the brands right now. And I'm going to go through some of these during this live stream, actually, some of the tips and things that we see are working really well and the frameworks that we use so that you guys can get some real value out of this. But we focus on what truly works. We're not reading top 10 ways to optimize your PPC SEO blog articles online. We're actually going onto the marketplace. We come up with hypotheses based on our own thinking and our own masterminding. Then we test them in the real marketplace and we see what works and what doesn't. And we toss out what doesn't, and what works, we test it even more, and we split test it even more until we come up with the strategies that really are working the best now.
All right. So let's do like Lithuanians. Let's not waste any more time and let's dive in.
Sweet. Yeah, let's. Okay, let's do it like Lithuanians. So let me get into some of the things that we are having really great success with right now. So last year, Amazon launched new ways of product targeting. One of them was expanded product targeting. So product targeting, or ASIN targeting, as it's also known, is when it's a sponsored products campaign, but instead of showing up in search results, you're showing up on product listings. So a lot of you guys who are running PPC, you know this. That's ASIN targeting rather than keyword targeting, where you show up in search results. Well, Amazon came out with sort of like what an auto campaign is for keyword targeting. An expanded product targeting ad is for ASIN targeting. So basically, you're giving it an ASIN or a list of ASINs to start with as the seed ASINs, and then you're allowing Amazon to determine what other ASINs or product listings to advertise your product on. And Amazon is doing an excellent job. So they have an algorithm for this that's working really well. I think in the last year and a half, auto campaigns on the search side have gotten a really bad rap. So people out there who are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, an auto campaign in sponsored product search is when you say, Amazon, you can advertise on any keyword you want. And then Amazon just chooses different keywords and tests different keywords. And you have basically no say in what keywords Amazon is testing. Well, in the last 18 months, that got kind of a bad rap because Amazon doesn't always do the best job finding keywords, and it'll waste a lot of your money on keywords that aren't working before determining that it's the wrong keyword to be focusing on. So this is basically auto targeting, but instead of for keywords, it's for ASINs, for product placement ads. And unlike auto targeting for keywords, Amazon is actually doing quite a good job at identifying ASINs that work really well and are profitable and produce high click-through rate, high conversion rate sales. So we're having a lot of success with this right now, and it's something that we're going over in the challenge, the PPC challenge that we're going to be hosting later this month. So it's expanded product targeting. So those of you guys who don't have expanded product targeting ads live yet now, I would recommend you testing this out. Test out expanded product targeting. The key is to choose the right seed ASINs to give Amazon. So whatever you have that's working right now already in expanded product targeting, that's likely like a good seed to start with from the get-go. But so, it could be a competitor's product that is less has worse reviews than yours, or it could be something like a complementary product. So if I'm selling wine, if I'm selling cheese boards, wine glasses, would be complementary. So between complementary and worse quality competitive, these are the main types of ASINs that Amazon will find. And then when it finds good ones and it's working really well, you can add those into your exact ASIN targeting campaigns. And you basically run the same type of sequence that you would for keywords, where you allow Amazon to find good ASINs and then you add them to the exact match and you organize them and continue to manage them there. So, yeah.
All right. So let me switch off this. I personally don't understand PPC. Of course, I'm not a seller. I don't run any ads.
Yeah, it's a science. It's a big science in and of itself. I mean, I feel like you could major in Amazon PPC in college at this point. There's so much to it.
And I think this tip you already shared in a few months ago. We published a video. I think the girls did an interview with you in Las Vegas. Is it true? Or was it about the
No,
same?
that was
It
a different thing. Yeah.
Okay.
That I can go over too, because that's a pretty exciting one. Actually, after we recorded that video, I don't think I ever told you this, Augustus, Amazon reached out to me and they said, "What is this strategy?" They literally had never heard of it because it's sort of a hack, and they didn't like that I used that word hack. And they put it in quotes in their email to me. But yeah, literally Amazon executives reached out to find out what I was talking about, and they said Amazon people internally were passing around that video that Lisette on your team recorded.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, I'll show you the email. Yeah, so that was pretty wild. I can share that tip here as well.
Yeah. Is it still working?
It is still working. We implement it for all of our brands, pretty much all, not every single one, but most of them.
Yeah, so please share. So it's a tip, a hack, which even Amazon got alerted for.
Yeah, even they didn't know that you could do this, or that it worked like this, apparently. So we call it a STEP campaign, STPP, self-targeted product placement campaigns. So this is where you create an ASIN targeting campaign for a product, but you only put in one ASIN to target, and it's the very same ASIN that you're advertising. So, in theory, this would make the ASIN show up on its own listing. So you'd be on a listing and then you see an ad for the listing that you're already on. So if you clicked it, nothing would happen. You just stay on that listing, or the page would reload and nothing would happen, right? So Amazon knows this. It lets you set up these campaigns, step campaigns, but what they do, instead of, they won't show the ad on the ASIN that you're on. So say I'm advertising a dog leash, and I go and I'm targeting an ASIN. Normally, I would try to advertise on another competitor's dog leash, or maybe I would try to advertise on dog food ASINs, right? But instead, I'm only putting in one exact match ASIN, and that's my own dog leash. So what Amazon does when you do this is it won't show the ad on your dog leash, even though that's the ASIN you're targeting. What it does is, once someone lands on your page and then they hit the back button on their browser and they go back to search results, now they're going to start seeing your ad in search results. So it's really interesting. It basically becomes like a search ad that only shows in search results, even though you're targeting an ASIN, and it's effectively retargeting. So it's not official Amazon retargeting, but it works like retargeting. So, and we're getting great results with this. Really low ACoS sales. They're highly efficient. We go over it in depth in the profitable PPC challenge that we're hosting later this month, but with a bunch of examples. But so now let me walk you through the process. So from what a shopper will do is, they're searching dog leash, right? Maybe they search dog leashes. So they want to see a bunch of different ones. Usually when shoppers put an S on the end, it means that they want to be browsing. So they search dog leashes and they're looking through a bunch of them. They click on your listing, they look at it, they like it, but they want to see what other options they are. So they hit back on their browser button or on their phone back button, and they go back to search results and they're scrolling through. Now, as they're scrolling through, now they're seeing your listing thumbnail show up in sponsored results. And since they've already been on your listing and they remember it, it's familiar to them, and you're reminding them, oh, remember this one that you were on? So they might have clicked into 4 or 5 different ones, but they keep seeing yours. So it gets into their mind, and they end up going back to it, and some portion of them end up going back to it and purchasing yours. So this really works well. Everyone who's advertised anything online ever knows that retargeting is the most efficient form of advertising. That's like the low-hanging fruit. Like, before you try any kind of audience or anything like that, like, retargeting campaigns are the one thing that you want to set up first. So yeah. So that's the tip that we shared that even Amazon apparently didn't know, and we're passing around in internal emails. Apparently, I got to be careful what I say, because they really didn't like me calling it a hack. That's for sure. But it is completely TOS compliant. It doesn't violate any terms or anything like that. It's just sort of a workaround to create your own version of retargeting with ASIN targeting.
Amazing. So yeah, those who understand, they will hopefully implement the strategy. And if you implement the strategy, let us know if it worked in the comments, so we can pass to Chris or if you have some challenges with that
Yeah, please do.
as well. Yeah, we will let Chris know and help you out. And talking about challenges and helping out, you are preparing a PPC challenge, which is happening for the second time in the end of February. And the first time was like a few months ago. Can you talk more about this?
Yeah, so we hosted our first PPC challenge last year. It was a great success. It sold out. We got amazing feedback from it. You could see it on the page. Like so many people had great feedback. Two of the sellers actually cried, not out of sadness, but because they were so grateful. That's how great it was. That's one of the stats that we quote, that two sellers cried. but but yeah, so the way we do it is really, really different from a normal challenge. We have a high density of mentors, really high skilled PPC mentors in the challenge, and we keep it at a max of an 8-to-1 participant to mentor ratio. So a normal challenge or event like this, like that's mentorship based, they'll have like a 80-to-1 participant to mentor ratio or 100-to-1 participant to mentor ratio. We keep an 8-to-1 ratio. So that literally means that everybody who comes gets their own PPC challenges addressed. I mean, and so we do live sessions each day where I teach what's working based on our own experiments that I like what I just mentioned. And then we also do office hours where people actually come and they join, and we all talk live with mentors online about their particular challenge, and we work through like what their issue is and get it done. And then we also have a 24/7 throughout the entire 5 days group chat in small groups. We break it into small groups, so it's not like these Facebook groups that you've been in where there's hundreds of members and every message gets buried. You get broken into small groups, and there's a ton of mentors in this group. And when you post your challenge, it gets answered. Like you have mentors posting Loom videos to help you with your challenges and issues, sending long messages. Like it's a really highly engaged. And then you also have actual assignments that you're held accountable to. So this is one thing, is that it does take a commitment for people that want to sign up for these 5 days. We don't allow sellers to come in and not engage. You're removed if you do that, because we want everyone to be engaged, everyone to participate actively. So for those that are able, that are really committed to improving their PPC, this is really a once in a lifetime opportunity to join this, because I don't know of a single other event that does it like this. We are obsessively dedicated to helping every single one of the participants succeed. And when you sign up, you're not a number, you're a name. What you actually do is paid attention to, and you're held accountable to it. And it's noticed if you don't, show up and you don't, do the tasks to improve your PPC. You don't just fall off and, no one notices. When you sign up, we know, okay, John Smith just signed up. Now let's make sure he shows up for the first session. Let's make sure he does his homework, and get his problems solved. So yeah, it's unlike anything you guys have ever been to. If you really care about getting your PPC organized and in line, this is definitely the event to check out.
So to understand, it will be like a training, and also you will address like private challenges for each person, or
Yes. Yeah. So the way it works is there's live training. That's mandatory to show up to live. But if somebody actually can't make it live, they can request to watch a replay on their own time, but they have to do it within 24 hours each day in order to stay on the track. So it's that. And then there's live office hours where anybody can jump in with their problem and actually discuss it with high level experts with millions of dollars of ad spend under their belt, including myself, each day. And then there's asynchronous group chats that you're in with the mentors that allow you to get mentorship throughout the time, whether it's live or whether it's off hours or whatever. And then there are handouts and assignments. So you get guides, you get a map of the product life cycle. Some of you guys have seen Augustus and I talk about that before. You get a bunch of different guides, and you also get exercises to do. So things that you can actually do to improve your PPC now. So that's how it's delivered. And it's each day for 5 days from February 20th to February 24th. And there are still tickets available right now, but we are capping it to keep at that 8-to-1 participant to mentor ratio. So it will sell out. I guarantee that this is going to sell out.
And if you are those who are watching, and if you are interested, you will find a link somewhere around the video. In the description, there is a link which you can click and go to this website, read more. It's not a free challenge, but is a pretty low cost, less than $100. And as I saw, I was reading some of the feedback. People are really, this is gold, great presentation, shout out to mentors. And it's all different people. It's not like, sometimes the same person is commenting, but it's like all different people. So apparently,
these are all people, and this is a Telegram chat, and these are all people from the challenge that we did last year in September. So you can see what kind of experiences they had.
Yeah. All right. So it's happening in about 2 weeks or less, 10 days or something like that.
Yep.
So make sure
Coming
you
up.
follow the link, sign up. And if you have any problems, write to Chris and his team. I think the email address is hello@sophiesociety.com, right? Is your email in case people have additional questions. And great. And also, if you're coming to Prague in June, or maybe even in Lithuania, we'll do event Seller Fest Baltics in July. So I think Chris might be in both events as well. Perfect.
Yes. Yep. I plan to be. I will be there. So you guys will see me in person if you're coming to the event.
Yeah.
I think my favorite in-person events in this whole space are Augustus's events. And I'm not biased because he gave me a trophy one year, which I still have. Still have that trophy with me dressed up like Mario.
Yeah. All right. So thank you, Chris. And I think see you later.
Cool. Thanks, everybody, for showing up.
Bye-bye.
Good to hang with you.